Hello, everybody. Welcome back with the Wine Thursday. And obviously, today, as you probably already seen from the post we published a couple of hours ago, we're going to speak about Supertuscan. So we're going, obviously, to speak about probably one of the most famous category, if you want to call it that way, of wine produced in Tuscany. And as always, I'm gonna give a couple of minutes to the people that wants to join us to come and watch the Wine Thursday. And as always, thank you so much for all the support. There are a lot of people that are supporting us, watching the replays, sending emails, asking questions, and so on. So for us, it means so much. I really hope that all of you are doing fine and that you're all doing well, and that things are going in the best way for every single person. And obviously, it's almost Christmas time, so we're all very happy. We're all in a very good mood, and winter evening, autumn evening are actually perfect to enjoy a little glass of wine. So why not? So let's start with today's argument. As I told you, super Tuscan. We're going to cover a little bit the history of this kind of a category of wine. Again, struggle sometimes with the term category because it's not actually a real category. It doesn't really exist if we talk about disciplinary, if we talk about a legislation. There's nothing like that. There's no legislation about Supertuscan, and sometimes it's difficult to define what it is. I would say, starting by giving a definition of Supertuscan, we can say it's just a word. First of all, it's just a way to define certain kind of wine. It's not even a category from my point of view. Although some people it could be certain specific category. But let's go. Let's start from the beginning of the story. So first of all, Supertuscan or Supertoscano is what certain red wines that are produced obviously in Tuscany, and these are like made outside of the tradition of our region, let's say, using other type of grape, especially such as those of the Bordeaux tradition, so il taglio bordolese, as we say in Italian, so Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and so on, along with let's say Sangiovese, or instead of the Sangiovese. Such wines are often aged in barriques, so it's small French oak barriques. So this is really typical of that kind of idea, of that kind of concept of winemaking, which is not something that really belongs to the Tuscan tradition, so really it's like a modern approach, or as I like to say, like a new tradition at this point, because we categorize as the year of the birth of the Supertuscan 1968. So at this point is it's more than 50 years that we have this kind of wine production, and so I would say it's more like a new tradition at this point. But anyway, so going back, to the story of the Supertuscan, such such wines really represent some kind of like some kind of production that it's outside of the tradition of the region. So at the time of their birth, these wines did not fall under an appellation of origin, and necessarily fell under the category of like generic wines or table wines. And this is actually also the reason why during the 80s, after a while that Sassicaia was out on the market, Nicholas Belfrage create this word Supertuscan to define Sassicaia. I'll tell you in a minute what it is, Sassicaia. But anyway, during the 80s, he started to use this word, and later this term was used by the Anglo-Saxon press. And anyway, let's now clarify also what kind of wines we can nowadays find in this category. And because really wines from different standards belong to this family, such as Bordeaux blends, such as Sassicaia, created by Giacomo Tachis, which is made from Cabernet Sauvignon, mainly, which at its inception could not use any appellation with lasted, and basically this thing lasted until 1994, when Bolgheri DOC and Bolgheri Sassicaia DOC specifically dedicated to this wine were created. Then we got wines from pure Sangiovese, also outside of the Chianti specification, and at the time of their appearance, this was something that it was like very modern, let's say, because you need to know that until the beginning of the 80s, you were not allowed to make 100% Sangiovese. So there were like some producer at that time that wanted to have this kind of like approach to follow that path of a pure straight Sangiovese. So during the 60s, at the end of the 60s actually, we can say there was like a precursor of this Sangiovese Supertuscan, which is the Vigorello, born in 1968, as well as the Sassicaia, created by the Cantina San Felice. There are also Sangiovese and Cabernet Sauvignon blends, such as Antinori Tignanello, starting with the 1975 vintage, because the previous ones were called Chianti Classico Riserva del Podere Tignanello, so it really changed also the denomination. So it went out from the Consortium of Chianti Classico. I would say also like the figure of Giacomo Tachis was, this has a tremendous impact, being together with Fiorentino, the inspiration behind those, wines. This is something that we really, those people made the history of Tuscanian winemaking, and even nowadays they really continue to inspire so many people around the enological world of Tuscany, and also I would say the entire Italy at this point. But let's continue. At that time, the excellence of Tuscan enology had not yet had a chance to emerge at today's level. Brunello di Montalcino, DOCG since, which is a DOCG since 1980s, having not yet emerged, and with the Chianti not yet freed from the image of crisis that's so basically it was like it was considered like a low kind of production kind of wine. So at that time, so it really also happened in the market of Tuscany wine, in a sense that really give a new hope also to the wine producers. So this creation of the Supertuscan. So this is something that it's something should be we should keep on our mind, because it really helped to the Tuscany area to really at that point stands out, and all the other wines that were not consider Supertuscan anyway benefit from this new category of wine, in terms of image, in terms of also hype and so on. So it was very important. Anyway, the wines I was speaking about are also in this picture. We spoke about Sassicaia, we spoke about Tignanello. Here we got also Masseto, Ornella, and Solaia. Let's now try also to cover what kind of blends we got in those kind of wines. So Sassicaia is 85% Cab Sauvignon, 15% Cab Franc. Tignanello, it's 80% Sangiovese, so it's Sangiovese dominant. 5% 5% Cabernet Franc, and 15% Cabernet Sauvignon. Masseto is 100% Merlot. Masseto is basically produced at Tenuta dell'Ornellaia, owned by the Frescobaldi family, in an area of only 7 hectares. The vineyard is divided into 3 areas, and all are characterized by a strong presence of clay. Basically, we got Masseto Alto, which is very clayey, Masseto Centrale, which is the central portion of the vineyard, which is more like sandier, and Masseto Junior, characterized by the presence of ciottoli pebbles. So this is very beautiful example of like 3 different type of vineyards that has giving a 3 different type of Merlot production, and you got this blend between these 3 different expressions, which is really amazing. And then we got also Ornellaia, in this picture, this beautiful wine. 67 from Merlot grapes, 13% from Sangiovese grape, and 20% of Cabernet Sauvignon. The last one, Solaia, last but not least, 75% Cabernet Sauvignon, 20% Sangiovese, 5% Cabernet Franc. So this is really, like the history in a picture. Anyway, the very beautiful thing about the Supertuscan production is that the producer, the winemakers, they really have this sense of freedom, and they can really experiment more. There's no legislation backbone. There's no, disciplinary. You can really let stands out what you have in terms of terroir and in terms of idea of winemaking, which is really, really great. And I think you always also have to judge a producer, not only when it comes about, for example, Chianti Classico consortium producer, not only by the production of the Chianti Classico Reserva or Gran Selezione, but also from the production of the Supertuscan. We got, for example, our Torre di Montemaggio, the Merlot that you probably saw in the picture of the post of the live stream today. And the thing is that, with those wines, with those kind of production, we really had this freedom and to experiment a little bit more and to challenge ourselves and so on. So Torre di Montemaggio is 100% Merlot, and it's a Merlot that is produced in a very unusual condition, very atypical kind of condition. It's a Merlot that it's coming from first of all from Montemaggio, which is a winery which is considerably high to be a Chianti Classico winery. So from the climatic point of view, it's a little bit colder in Montemaggio, and generally speaking, we have a lower sugar parameters development in our grapes, which means lighter and much more fine, elegant kind of wine. But also we have a situation in that specific vineyard. We have a pretty alkaline soil, which means very high pH, which means that the vines are going to have a mechanism of compensation generating a higher acidity. So you got a Merlot that is really fresh and engaging. And yeah, you got the fruit of the Merlot, you got this beautiful mulberry, but also you got eucalyptus, mint. So it's very beautiful expression. And some people say, it's a Merlot che chianteggia, Merlot from Chianti. Some other call it Merlot Sangiovese, which I don't really like as a terminology, but still, I really, really, really think it's a fantastic way to, tasting a Merlot from Montemaggio, Torre di Montemaggio. It's a fantastic way to have another interpretation of the terroir that we have here in Montemaggio and in Chianti as well. So this is something that, I really strongly believe that Supertuscan are like, pure expression of the art in the feeling of the winemakers. So that's the reason why also we wanted to make this live stream, and to speak about this argument, because we really wanted to, clarify something more, about this category, non-category, which is the Supertuscan family, and how it was born and developed. Obviously, this is just Supertuscan in a nutshell. There's so much history behind it, and so for this reason, we're going to dedicate a YouTube video about Supertuscan that will be out in the next weeks. So for today is everything. I hope you really enjoyed this live stream. I really adore to do this wine discussion because it really gave me the chance to study and discover more, and it's really beautiful and challenging for me. So really, thank you so much for everything as well. As always, and see you next time. Cheers.